Hey guys, Elliott Bayev here at Openmat MMA in Toronto. Got our good friend, Coach Youngman here from Double Phoenix Jiu-Jitsu in Virginia. He's going to show us some pretty sweet details for cross choke from the mount.
All right, so when I was in my progression, I never knew how to do the cross choke and I always struggled with it. And there was just a ton of details that I was missing. So what I did is I did an intense study on Roger Gracie, who's cross choking everybody from the mount in the highest levels of competition. And I think he did it like back to back to back to back on everybody. He just mounted cross choke, mounted cross choke. So even though the guy, he's saying it's very like, I'm doing simple classic jiu-jitsu, you better believe there's a lot of key details in there to make it work on high level black belt competition. So I started looking for those, and I mean really studying hard. So I just want to go over some common things to help you with your cross choke. So once I started making these changes, I started getting the cross choke back to back to back to back, and people knew it was coming, but they couldn't stop it. So it was really cool to see that shift. And I started loving the cross choke. It's to get that finish, it just feels amazing. So the first thing is you always have to deal with the hands. So what I do is, let's talk about two different postures of mount. I see this posture where the knees are on the ground and the guy's like hugging the head here, like trying to do stuff like this. This is how you're gonna get bridge and rolled. He's just gonna trap your arm and he's gonna bridge you over super easy. So in my opinion, you should only have two postures in the mount to attack. You should be upright, like trying to walk your knees up high and trying to get up higher, and upright so that when they bridge, your hips can lift, kind of like Salo teaches. So when you bridge, kind of like your hips will kind of go with it. This is really good because you can start to attack cross chokes and Americanas and all sorts of arm bars and everything. But this can sometimes be a little bit telegraphed, especially if I go like this with my hand. The guy sees it coming, he starts clamming it up like really tight. So what I tend to do is the other type of mount, which is like a flatter, heavier mount, where I cross my feet and I lift my knees up off the ground so they're floating and there's no contact on the ground. And I even take my hands off the ground, so like 100% of my weight is on him. Yeah. So then his hands are in the way, so I start moving my chest around, cleaning up his hands, like going like this, and then scraping off his hands left and right. So I go one, start using my arm, boom, cleaning up, just wiggling, getting through the hands. And if he starts pushing on my hip and everything, I want that, and I'll take his hands, stuff them down, and put them on my stomach, just like this. Now the first thing I want to do is take this hand, thumb down. It's really important you do this. I don't like this, and I saw Roger Gracie doing the thumb down, fingers in the collar, just like this. He set it up every time the same way. So I would go one, I'd see him go like this, one, and he brings his hand, bam. And then this grip allows you to pull the slack and move this collar and pull the slack. I'm just upright just to show you guys here. And just to feed it to his hand. Bam. And then he would be doing this low. So you go one, bam, feed it, just like this, and then keep the elbow low. And the guy's hands all the while are stuck on your stomach. So once you feed it, then I would have trouble because the collar would be really tight. Like I'd have trouble getting my thumb in, have trouble getting my hand in, especially if you tuck your chin. And like, yeah, look at that. So what I would start to do, and I saw him doing, is he pushes the hand forward to create a little gap. Well, this is what I saw. So I would be very curious to see like if this is close to how he would explain it. That'd be awesome. So I saw him punching this forward to create a little gap, and then the elbows down so that you can't bring your hand through and start defending. Yes, this stops it a lot. So I keep my elbow down, but also punching to the floor. So my fist is on the ground. So now it's really important that you place your weight in a way that you don't get bridged over to the side that the arm's already trapped. I don't want to get bridged this way, so I kind of base this way, okay? Now the first way I'm going to show you is you walk your hand in a circle, and he's going to be crunched up defending that side of his neck, like kind of there. So you're going to drag your elbow across the face, and then dip your thumb right in the back corner of his neck, right there, bam, just like this. Make a grip, and now what they'll do, if they open their neck, it'll be easy, just close your elbow. But most people try to crunch up, so you gotta do like a lever, like crunch up. You gotta kind of move their face out of the way, like this. And then all the while, I'm like low doing this. I'm going here, And then I put the top of my head on the ground. On the same side I have the top hand. So the top hand, bottom hand. I put my top of my head on the ground and I pull my elbows to my ribs. So going like this. I think a big common thing is to go open elbows. And then I try to use the blades of my wrist on either side instead of the flat parts. This flat part of the wrist, this doesn't work. It's very ineffective. So use the blades, and then I do this motion with my wrists. Like pulling like that at the very finish. And then I twist my body into it. So it's one, punch, circle, 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 open it up, thumb in, grab the material, loop like this, put my head on the ground, turn, pull my elbows to my ribs, and just, man, you feel like your head's gonna pop off when it's done right. So,
Do you want to show that again from
all the way to the beginning? Yeah. So I would start, go one, pin their hands to the chest, put my chest sort of in the middle, and sort of just move side to side. And even you can do it like with a cross face and sort of move. And they're gonna be pushing you. And sometimes this hand will wrap around your ribs, just if they don't know to frame on your hips. So you can come through and go under the arm and bam, right here. Open and feed it. So sometimes what'll help you is once I get here, I can feed it. Just keep using this collar to feed and push it down, and then I can kind of do like an S mount. So now I'm comboing the arm bar, which is like, man, if you can double attack the person, great. So then right here, the second way I'm gonna open the neck is kind of similar to the first way where you drag across, is like real mean. You kind of use your forearm like a little bit on the top of the head and grab that corner of the collar right there. And then you want to do like a flipping motion, just like that. So you see I'm kind of like on my foot and S mount, go one, bam, just like that. Close it, and now I kick this foot under, put my head down, and then just twist. Pull my elbows to my ribs, and then finish with my wrist. So go one, just like that. And you have the arm bar too. Like, say he just won't let me in his neck, he's just shelled up, look. Bop, 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 look, pin the hand, start digging in, look, bam. You have that arm bar right there. So that's a great way to combo your attack from mount. So.
Oh, some sweet details there, especially like where you're clearing the arms. It's really damaging. It really sucks. That's the bottom.
Oh man, you feel it under pressure there, and especially the chest, clearing the hands up and just right through. And I always see him do that thumb down grip just to open up the collar. Man, if you go back to those videos, look for that thumb down grip. Like I thought it was like 2010, 2009 Worlds. Like Hodges just went through everybody across it, like everybody. And if you look slow-mo it, you'll see that thumb down grip. Just opening up the collar with it, just feeding it, and just everyone's just like dying right there. So.
Some things I like from the mount. One thing that before we look at offense, I want to talk about defense. This you'll even see that very high level people do this, and it's just kind of a bad habit. But whether it's side control or mount, we'll be here and say Kyle goes for a crossface. Just get a crossface on this side. Yeah, here. Do that again. So just use this arm. You notice what I did. I lifted my head forward. And people will very often, because in training, if we're doing a move from the crossface, he has to start with the crossface in. So what do I have to do as a good partner? I have to lift. But in sparring, then we'll often make that mistake of lifting the head for the guy. And conversely, if you look at my neck here, there's a little, right now, if I lift my chin, there's a little gap that his hand can get into, right? If I tuck my chin and press my neck to the mat, now there's less of a gap, yeah. And if I at the same time tuck my chin to the one side that he's trying to come in, now it's not that he won't get it, eventually he might, but he's got a lot more work to do to get through. So just one thing defensively, to not just, offer up that crossface, make things hard or easy for your partner. From the offensive position, some things I like to do that I haven't seen taught a lot are some defensive tools that I have for recovering if the person starts escaping. There are different ways he can start escaping. So, for example, if Kyle bridges and shrimps and gets his bottom knee inside here, this is a bad spot. this is a bad spot to try to get, to recover the mount from. And if I try to go to side control, he's gonna hook me and recover his guard. So being able, here he gets that knee in, here, being able to cut this knee down and then back step here allows you to salvage your position. This is maybe a level 2 version of when he starts threatening something, just windshield wiping, so he brings his knee out, yeah, this kind of thing here. Another tool I like is, say I've got my ankles crossed or grapevines, I'm in a low mount, and he starts working to get a leg flat, and and he's really working to get out. Sometimes I feel like my right leg will not be able to contain him. So he's bringing this knee up. Yeah, I'm gonna have a tough time. What I like to do is bring my left foot through here. This traps that bottom leg, and you'll notice if I straighten my leg, it allows me to maneuver or control his leg quite a bit. So when we're here, what I'd like to do is windshield again, and now I create a bit of a leg drag. I can go dope mount, or I can just work towards the back. So just a few tools. The basic, if he gets on the side, we can just recover the knee on belly, or if he gets that shin all the way through, here the knee cuts, we're gonna back step. Or if he gets a leg flat and we're not able to prevent it, we want to weave through like a grapevine, drop our hips slightly, windshield wiper over, and then come to the side. So just some kind of control tools that I like. Sometimes I'd rather be obviously finishing a choke, but if I feel like I'm losing the position, I like those for maintaining a dominant position. Even if I have to give up side control or knee on belly, or give up the mount to go to those positions, preferable to being put back into
I love that hook.
Yeah,
On the foot.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoy.